a lot of these guys, these young stars and rising superstars, they don't look up to LeBron anyway, right? So they're not following his footsteps. A lot of these guys looked up to Kobe.
Kendrick Perkins just said something on ESPN's First Take that instantly got the basketball world talking. He looked straight into the camera and said that today's young players don't idolize LeBron James. According to Perkins, they looked up to Kobe Bryant instead. The reason those words hit so hard isn't just because of what was said. It's because of who said it. Perkins isn't some random critic looking for attention. He shared a locker room with LeBron in Cleveland. He traveled with him, practiced beside him, saw his daily routine, and watched everything from the inside. Former teammates usually stay quiet about things like this in public. So when one of them speaks this openly, people naturally pay attention. Take a listen for yourself. It's only 22 seconds. No edits, no extra commentary, just Perkins giving his opinion.
A lot of these guys, these young stars and rising superstars, they don't look up to LeBron anyway, right? So they're not following his footsteps. A lot of these guys looked up to Kobe. A lot of these guys come on record and talk about how they look up to Kevin Durant more so than they look up to LeBron James. They don't idolize him.
They don't look up to him. They look up to Kobe, he said, even mentioning Kevin Durant before LeBron. Think about how surprising that sounds. We're talking about the NBA's all-time leading scorer, a player with 4 championships, 4 finals MVP awards, 4 regular season MVP trophies, and more than 20 all-star selections. Yet Perkins suggested that many young fans connected more with other stars. What made the moment even more powerful was the way Perkins delivered it. He didn't laugh, exaggerate, or treat it like a hot take. He said it calmly, almost like someone reading the final score after a game. That quiet confidence is exactly why so many people immediately started debating his comments. So, who is Kendrick Perkins, and why did his words create a bigger reaction than countless sports debates we've heard all year? Long before television, Perkins built a long NBA career. He spent 15 seasons in the league as a physical starting center. He won an NBA championship with the Boston Celtics in 2008 and played alongside Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen during one of the league's most memorable eras. Later, he joined the Oklahoma City Thunder, sharing the court with Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden before eventually landing in Cleveland. That stop in Cleveland placed him beside one of the biggest sports stars on the planet. Perkins saw LeBron's daily habits up close. He watched the workouts, the preparation, the discipline, and the way every part of LeBron's life seemed focused on staying at the very top of basketball. From Perkins' point of view, that level of commitment was unlike almost anything he'd seen before. That's why many viewers felt his comments carried extra weight. They came from someone who experienced that environment firsthand. But then, Perkins pushed the conversation even further. He didn't simply question whether LeBron was the player young fans admired most. He immediately pointed to 2 current stars he believes represent the league's future. That part of the discussion is what really grabbed everyone's attention and sent social media into another wave of debate.
So now is the point where, you want Anthony Edwards. He don't mind being the face of a league with Victor Wembanyama. You want a Wemby to set the tone.
Anthony Edwards and Victor Wembanyama. One is the explosive guard from Atlanta whose confidence, energy, and fearless style have made him one of the NBA's fastest rising stars. The other is the towering French sensation in San Antonio, a player whose unique skills have already made him one of basketball's biggest attractions. They come from different backgrounds, different journeys, and different playing styles. Yet, Perkins grouped them together as players ready to carry the league forward. On national television, he suggested that the spotlight is shifting past the league's all-time scoring leader, past one of the biggest personal brands in sports, past the championships, the records, and even the I Promise school. Whether people agree or disagree, Perkins painted a picture that suggested the next generation may already be choosing new faces to follow. That's a bold statement, especially when it's about someone whose career has lasted more than 2 decades. Here is where the conversation becomes even more interesting. If Perkins had been talking about someone who never cared about greatness, his comments wouldn't have landed the same way. If he had described a player who avoided hard work or never chased history, fans could simply dismiss everything he said. But that's not LeBron's reputation at all. His career has been built around preparation, consistency, and chasing excellence year after year. So if someone with Perkins' experience still believes younger fans connected more with other stars, what exactly led him to that conclusion?
That move to Cleveland. I already knew about Bron. I knew about his preparation.
a little bit from what, you know, high school looked like, but to actually being around them, oh, that shit was different. You know what I'm saying? That shit was different. From his whole life is planned out like a president.
Seen over the past 2 decades, he's been around Kevin Garnett, whose relentless drive became legendary, along with several other elite stars. Yet, whenever Perkins tells stories about LeBron's approach, he says he had never witnessed anything quite like it. In his view, LeBron's level of organization, structure, and commitment stood in a category of its own. Not Paul Pierce, who studied game film like a coach. Not Kevin Durant, widely praised as one of the greatest scorers of his generation. According to Perkins, none of them structured every part of their lives the way LeBron James did. And that's where this story becomes even more interesting. The player Perkins described with the strict schedule, non-stop workouts, recovery sessions, and constant preparation looks on paper like someone who should naturally become the biggest basketball idol of all time.
He go get up at 5 in the morning. He go do his workout at the crib, right? He go be at the arena practice at 11. He go be there by 9:30, right? He go do another workout on the court. He go do some more cardio. He go practice. He go get shots up afterwards. But meantime, don't even know he gonna shoot a whole, you know what I'm saying, commercial in between time. Then get back to the crib. You get there, shit, he icing up, getting treatment. On the road, first time I ever seen this shit, you know, the man got STEM units. Like personal training.
Still training table mode.
LeBron earned one of the greatest resumes the sport has ever seen. He built it season after season through consistency, championships, awards, and incredible longevity. Yet Perkins' comments on First Take suggested that those accomplishments alone didn't automatically make him the player younger generations admired most. That's why the conversation spread so quickly. So, how demanding was the routine Perkins described? Recovery treatments, STEM technology, training while traveling, workouts before practice, more workouts after practice, cardio squeezed in between business commitments and commercial appearances. According to Perkins, that level of preparation continued year after year for more than 2 decades. Very few athletes have ever been described with that kind of commitment. That's what makes his comments stand out even more. Perkins wasn't talking about someone who simply relied on natural talent. He was describing a player known for putting enormous time and energy into every part of his career. Throughout Miami with Dwayne Wade, through Cleveland alongside Kyrie Irving, including the unforgettable 2016 championship run. And later in Los Angeles with the Lakers, the routine stayed remarkably consistent. Every season, every city, every new chapter followed the same pattern. The preparation never stopped. So, that naturally raises the question many fans began asking after the show. If effort wasn't the issue, if discipline wasn't missing, if preparation reached an elite level, then what explains the difference in how different generations connected with certain players? That's where the discussion shifts away from statistics. Perkins and the panel weren't debating points, rebounds, or championships. They were talking about memorable moments that stick with fans long after the final buzzer.
You know what I'm saying? People get caught up in feelings instead of facts. Okay, let's remember. You got from the days of Connie Hawkins to Dr. J and David Thompson. All right, to Michael Jordan with Dominique Wilkins. You know, to the Vince Carters of the world, to the Kobe Bryants of the world. How about Vince Carter with Tracy McGrady? How about Tracy McGrady lobbing it up for Vince Carter and Vince Carter putting it between his legs and dunking? And why? Because the audience demanded it. The audience wanted it. And they lived up to that billing.
One event kept coming up as an example of the kind of stage that helped shape basketball legends, the NBA Slam Dunk Contest. Connie Hawkins, Julius Dr. J. Irving, David Thompson, Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins, Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, Kobe Bryant. Those names still echo through basketball history. Many fans grew up trying to copy their moves on neighborhood courts and driveways because those moments became part of the sport's culture. For many people, the dunk contest wasn't just another event. It became a showcase where unforgettable highlights were created. Kobe Bryant won the contest as a teenager. Vince Carter delivered one of the most celebrated performances in All-Star Weekend history in 2000. Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins created a legendary rivalry through the event. Dr. J helped shape what spectacular dunking could look like long before today's stars entered the league. LeBron had the athletic ability, the popularity, and countless opportunities to participate. Year after year, fans hoped he might finally enter the competition, but throughout his career, he chose not to. Whether someone agrees with that decision or not, it has remained one of the biggest what-if discussions in NBA history, and it resurfaced once again during this conversation. Then another voice added even more attention to the debate. Perkins wasn't alone on the panel. Stephen A. Smith also weighed in, and that's part of why the discussion became such a major headline. For years, Stephen A. has frequently defended LeBron during debates about his career and legacy. Because of that history, viewers naturally noticed when he appeared to agree with parts of Perkins' perspective. That reaction surprised many longtime fans.
So when we think about the demise of the slam dunk contest, with a host of other things, he's up here and he deserves to be not just celebrated but revered. When it comes to the slam dunk contest and its diminished value, his fingerprints are written all over it. That is a fact. Period.
Stephen A. has spent years arguing in LeBron's favor during some of the biggest GOAT debates on television. He's challenged analysts, former players, and commentators who questioned LeBron's accomplishments. That's why his response carried extra weight for many viewers watching the segment unfold. When Perkins shared his opinion, Stephen A. responded with period. That brief comment immediately became another talking point across social media. Some fans viewed it as agreement with Perkins' larger message, while others believed it reflected only part of the discussion. Either way, it added even more fuel to an already massive NBA debate. For many basketball fans, the larger conversation wasn't really about one television segment. It became a discussion about legacy, unforgettable moments, and what makes certain athletes inspire future generations. Championships, records, longevity, highlights, personality, and iconic performances all become part of that conversation. Whether people agree with Perkins, disagree with him completely, or land somewhere in the middle, his comments sparked another chapter in one of basketball's biggest debates. And that discussion isn't ending anytime soon. You can have one of the greatest training routines in the history of professional sports. You can wake up before sunrise for more than 2 decades. You can plan every detail of your career with incredible discipline. You can become the NBA's all-time leading scorer, win 4 championships, and build projects like the I Promise School. Those are remarkable accomplishments that few athletes will ever match. But for many fans, basketball has always been about more than numbers and trophies. It's also about unforgettable moments. It's about highlights that get replayed for years, posters hanging on bedroom walls, and memories that inspire the next generation to fall in love with the game. That's why players like Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan continue to have such a powerful impact on so many fans. Many people point to Kobe's Mamba mentality as something that inspired them far beyond basketball. Others talk about Michael Jordan's legendary competitive presence and the unforgettable moments that helped shape his legacy. Those qualities became part of basketball culture, creating memories that statistics alone can't fully explain. Kendrick Perkins' comments sparked this entire conversation because they came from someone who saw LeBron's work ethic from the inside. He watched the preparation, the recovery, the daily routine, and the commitment that went into building one of the greatest careers the NBA has ever seen. Even with all of that, Perkins shared his view that many younger fans connected more with other basketball icons. Whether you agree with him or completely disagree, it's a debate that will probably continue for years. Now it's your turn. Do you think Perkins was right, or do you believe LeBron's legacy will be remembered in the same legendary way as players like Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan? Share your thoughts in the comments, because I'd love to hear your perspective. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more NBA stories and debates, and share this video with other basketball fans so we can keep the conversation going. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.